Number 1.
The entire season, Brandon Sheppard was number 1 with a bullet.
Checkered flag for the second time this year. The Rocket Shepp wins.
The champ is here. Brandon Sheppard wins tonight in Charlotte.
In his first year driving full-time for Mark Richards' Rocket House Car team, Sheppard went from one of America's best young drivers to literally America's best driver, laying the hammer down on the dirt late model world. 28 victories, 18 on the World of Outlaws Tour, which tied the record for most of the season, and just short of $600,000 in purse and championship money made this arguably a top 10 dirt late model season of all time. And while most of us thought this would be a good year for the Sheppard and Rocket pairing, we didn't know it would be this good.
Your winner will be B-Shepp. Brandon Sheppard gets it done in 1.
Sheppard wins the Craftsman Club feature here at Erie's.
How else would a season like this start but with a victory? At Bubba Raceway Park and Mark Salak's crate car, backed by the Rocket House Car team in late January. Sheppard won and got second and third in the weekend's other 2 races. And then it was on when he jumped into the iconic blue number 1. First a Speed Weeks win at East Bay, and then another, and perhaps the finish of the season on the last lap over Scott Bloomquist again at Bubba Raceway Park.
Out at 2 down the back's runaway with the lane. The crowd's on his feet. Sheppard on the outside. And they come at the line. And Sheppard, yes! Sheppard did it!
Like I said, we're really fortunate. We probably wouldn't have won without that caution with 2 to go, but I guess the way our luck's been going, it's about time we had a little good luck. So.
The February wins weren't done yet. Night 2 at Volusia saw another victory, and Sheppard and the Rocket Boys left Speed Weeks with a World of Outlaws points lead they would never relinquish.
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew we was a contender when I first got in this ride. I mean, I knew I had some big shoes to fill, and last night was a pretty bad night, and we were all pretty down on everything, and we just had to change a few things for my driving style compared to Josh's, and that's been the biggest deal, is just figuring out what I like.
He picked things back up in late March with his first Outlaws win of the year at Why Not in a great race down south, and then returned home to the Illini 100 to cash a $15,000 check, dominating all 75 laps to set the table for the monster season he was about to have.
I'm not really that worn out, to be honest. Them guys were telling me that I had a pretty good lead for some of the race there, so I was kind of riding, trying to keep the tires underneath of me. Banging the cushion like that is usually hard on tires. So
April was full of more high finishes and wins. He was never outside the top 12 in the Lucas Oil races he ran, and bookended the month with a rare appearance with the Southern All-Stars, of course winning at Smoky Mountain.
Shout out to Lil Yachty, but this ain't no little boat. Playing peekaboo when I'm coming to the line. Give it to Brandon Sheppard.
Sheppard ran 6 races in May, and his average finish, 2.1, including Outlaws wins to start the month at Fayetteville, and to end the month on Memorial Day weekend for $12,500 at Wayne County.
For the 4th time this year, the Sheppard will lead his flock to victory lane. Brandon Sheppard goes to victory lane here at Wayne County.
If you're noticing a theme here, it's because Sheppard developed a pretty strong trend of starting a month with a win, and he did it again in June, this one at the ultra racy Sonoya Raceway in Georgia, before heading to the dirt late model dream at Eldora, where he notched a top 5 at a prelim and got second in Saturday's $100,000 to win finale.
we just fine-tuned on it all weekend, nothing major, just getting me comfortable with the tires and a few little different things that we did to the car, and it made for a pretty good night. I'd be more disappointed if I ran second to somebody else, but this is like Scott Bloomquist's home track, it seems like.
Post-Dream, more of the same. A win north of the border at Ontario's Brighton the next week, a firecracker prelim victory, and 8th in the finale at Lernerville. He'd briefly step away from the Outlaws on June 30th and gave us arguably the second best finish of the season at Plymouth for a UMP Summernationals thriller.
Final lap, final corner. Here comes Bloomer, one more shot at the line. Sheppard by half a car length.
Sheppy held off Scott Bloomquist for his first Summernationals win of the year, but hang tight because those were about to come hot and heavy. He went back to back to back to back back-to-back on the Hell Tour, starting with the co-sanctioned race at I-55 with the Outlaws, and then behind the wheel of his family-owned number B5, rattling through Lincoln, Quincy, and Fayette County, where he took home a total of $14,900, including lap money, as he won 5 straight Summer Nationals events.
At turn number 3, out of 4, Sheppard wins 4 straight. The 50th one is the one that pays 10 grand, and it's happened for the 5th straight time. It's Brandon Sheppard.
We've been running Summer Nationals for a long time, and this has always been the goal, just to keep winning races, so I guess it's just been awesome. We've had a really good car, and Mark Richards just took me under his wing, like I said, since 2012.
After a few more top 3 finishes on the Hell Tour, he returned to the Outlaws on the Wild West wing, and he was top 5 in them to death. 4 races out west, his average finish, 2.5. He switched over to the Lucas Oil Tour briefly, grabbed a top 5 at Brown County, and then turned in perhaps his best drive of the season. While he didn't win at I-80 Silver Dollar Nationals, he drove from 32nd to 2nd in the searing Nebraska heat, nearly coming home victorious.
But hats off to him. I probably had my stuff burn up a little bit, by the time I got to 2nd after passing all them cars. But, like I said, it just shows how good of a team we got here, and we're just going to go to the next one and keep on digging.
Following that magnificent drive with Lucas Oil, his hottest World of Outlaws stretch was on the horizon. His 2nd win of the year at Fayette County as he held off Chris Madden for $10,000, a $2,500 to win Prairie Dirt Classic tune-up the night before the PDC, and his richest and most prestigious victory of the season in his backyard. In a race he coveted dearly, he dominated the second half of the Prairie Dirt Classic, no easy feat on a track known for lead changes, to win $30,000 in his first ever Prairie Dirt Classic victory.
His 11th win of the year, the biggest one of the year, the 28th annual Prairie Dirt Classic.
Oh, it's awesome, we've had a lot of good runs here. We won Summer Nationals race here last year, and we've had a lot of success over the years here. We've just had a lot of bad luck also, and being teamed up with Mark Richards and Steve Baker and everybody at Rocket Chassis, it's really sped up my learning curve as a driver.
There was no rest for the wicked after that crown jewel win. 3 nights later, he picked up another victory at Oshkosh on the road to Cedar Lake, then ran 3rd in the CLS tune-up and 4th in the big one up north in Wisconsin. After a brief vacation, Sheppard surfaced out east with the Outlaws again, nearly sweeping a 3-race triple-header, going 3rd at Georgetown, and then going back-to-back for wins at the very underrated Port Royal and Erie's after a late spin by Jared Miley.
Yeah, we've had really great car all weekend. We've just haven't had luck on our side, and tonight the luck was on our side, and it says a lot about our team. We got a heck of a team back there. Mark, Dan, Austin, Joel, Steve Baker, everybody at Rocket Chassis.
By this point in the season, the Outlaws title was all but wrapped up, and the only real question was, how historic would this year get? But in true Rocket House Car fashion, they just kept plugging away and churning out top 5s. In both shows at Merritt, and as they headed to the World 100 at Eldora and ran 10th in Saturday's granddaddy of them all.
Well, there's a look at Brendan Sheppard and the blue number 1, Earl Pearson, in the white and the red number 1, as those 2 cars battled for 8th and 9th.
Knoxville awaited, where in 3 nights of racing in Iowa with Lucas Oil, they ran 4th, 4th, and 6th, which one person told me afterwards, boy, Sheppard didn't do much this weekend, which only goes to show, when you're as white hot as he was all season, finishing 6th in one of the biggest races of the year is somehow considered bad. So just what did he do on the heels of that disappointment? I'm using air quotes, by the way. He went out west with the Outlaws and won nearly 30 grand.
As for the 15th time in 2017, the Rocket Shepp is off the launching pad. He'll win here at Lakeside. But for the 16th time, Sheppard has led the flock to the promised land. He wins here at Salina.
Number 17, Brandon Sheppard goes to victory lane here at the first ever visit at 81.
Lakeside, Salina, and 81 Speedway, win, win, win. 3 races, $28,000, and a final shot across the bow of the World of Outlaws. He was not to be touched.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. But man, they got some really awesome racetracks out here. kind of darker dirt, more like what I'm used to, you know, so it's just, I guess I just fit right in.
Brandon's season wound down with a second place at the Dirt Track World Championship as he watched his stepbrother, as we call him in the dirt late model media world affectionately, Josh Richards, win his first Lucas Oil title. The team then headed to Charlotte to wrap the season where, again, Sheppy was providing the dramatics.
And Sheppard pulls the trigger. Brandon Sheppard to the lead. The champ is here. Brandon Sheppard wins tonight in Charlotte.
In one of our top 5 races of the year in front of nearly 20,000 people, Sheppard hustled the cushion late and won the Friday portion of the World Finals. And in a rare instance, as he tied the Outlaw record for most wins in a season, he was emotional when this one was over.
Mark Richards, Steve Baker, everybody at Rocket Chassis, they gave me an opportunity to drive this car a few years ago, 2012, and have basically took me under their wing since then and taught me a lot and really matured me a lot as a driver. And it's just what a phenomenal year, man. We tied the record, so I guess we got a chance at it now. We got to win tomorrow. It'll be tough, but we'll just see what we can do.
He finished the year with a 4th in the series finale and captured his first ever World of Outlaws Series championship, highlighted by some staggering numbers. 28 wins, just shy of $600,000 in total earnings, an 86% top 5 finish rate with the World of Outlaws, and maybe even more impressive, 95% inside the top 10. It was dominant. It was historic. And for those of us that have watched Sheppard grow from a regional Illinois racer to arguably the country's best racer, it was a coming out party we all knew was possible over a decade ago. So without question or hesitation, your #1 driver in America, according to DirtOnDirt.com in 2017, is Illinois' Brandon Sheppard.